Okay, hey everybody. I am here today with Colleen, a former client of mine, and just to talk about her career transition, dare I say transformation. Hey Colleen, thanks for joining.
Thanks, Chip. Happy to be here.
Good to see you again. Just to get started, where were you? Where were you career-wise? Where were you in your career when we first connected?
I really wasn't at a place that I wanted to be. I'd had a few pivots and detours along my path, and I finally realized, okay, I can't be here forever. I need to take matters into my own hands on a higher level than I already was, and just really saw you as a great source for me.
Well, thank you. But look, it takes a lot of courage just to make that bold step to do something different or just think differently. What just when you're thinking back, tell me what you remember about the whole, coaching experience and what you took away from it.
I feel like we really started at like almost a zero so that we could build that foundation of, okay, let's talk about where you are, where you see yourself in multiple options, which was great. Not just saying, okay, here's what I do, and you're going to do this because that's what I do. It's like having lots of options and taking assessments, which I love an assessment. So I think those are great. So just really taking it step by step, not just jumping to, okay, well, here's your plan, here's what you're going to do. Just having those options available was great to kind of take that journey on my own too of, okay, what do I really want to be doing? And, thinking it through. So having a lot of steps to get there.
Yeah, well that's good, right? What the right path for one person isn't necessarily the right path for another person. So it is all about you. And you did a great job of kind of pausing to reflect. And again, that can be kind of tough to do. So fast forward and talk about where you ended up and what are you doing now?
Yeah, so I ended up going with a franchise called Set the Stage, and opened our first Charlotte location here, so Set the Stage Queen City, and we launched in February of 2026, and now we're just getting rolling and enjoying the process as I learn along the way.
That's well, look, here's a chance for your commercials. T talk a little bit about Set the Stage, and you can talk about Puddles, your
Yeah,
dog.
I know. He's my little helper. So, Puddles, you like to try out all the furniture. He approves of all of it at the warehouse.
Quality control.
Equality control. So, Set the Stage is a home furniture staging and furniture sales business. So, we do a lot of vacant homes, getting those ready for the Charlotte market, which is so competitive these days. And we'll do other services such as pre-listing consultations, where we go in with the sellers and just walk them through their home and give tips and ideas of how they can really get it most ready to get listed. So some people have been in their home 30 years, and while it's their home, you want it to be ready for the general public to come in and envision it as their home. So, helping people through that process. And then the furniture sales side, whether that's with Airbnbs or senior living communities, just really helping people out, getting in everything set up for them, including all the way down to decor if they need it. And then as well as for people's personal homes. So someone might do a renovation and then say, okay, well, now we need a bigger couch, or we're moving into a first time home and we don't have a dining table. So being able to help people through those parts of life.
That's so fantastic. Now, to be clear, you don't have a background in this, right?
Not officially, just really an interest and a hobby. And, decor is just a level of personal taste, but a level of understanding what appeals to the most people and what's trending out there as well.
That's fantastic. So, at the end of the day, how did you know that that was the right thing for you?
It combined my interests, things I enjoy doing, and then the background I've had in relationship management and even inventory management. Never thought that would come back around to be helpful, but it does. And just I thought it was a very relationship-based business. So wanting to put those skills to use.
Fantastic. Okay, so I want you to think back to when we first got together, when you were kind of thinking about your career and what was next. What advice would you give to someone that's at that point where they're just thinking, okay, is this all there is?
Yeah, I would say if what you're doing isn't working, which is the case I was in, everything I was trying wasn't working. You have to look at something completely different and see what that might be for yourself. But knowing that it's not easy to do, it's
Right.
hard, and you really need a good support system, even if that's just people to give you emotional support through it. And looking at the skills you have and what that could turn into for a career. If you really don't want to be talking with people a lot, then that can factor in.
Yeah.
Or if you are someone who loves to be out talking with people, but maybe you don't want to be in like the nitty-gritty of business, it just depends on where your skills are and what you want to be doing. And there's opportunities everywhere. It's just figuring out what that looks like.
That's a great way to phrase it. There's always opportunities, there's always possibilities, even when you don't think there are. Okay, so now that you have launched this business, you've invested in this franchise. People that are on that precipice, what's your advice to them as they start their new chapter?
Yeah, I would say be realistic with yourself and not too hard on yourself at the beginning because for my business specifically, it was a very large financial commitment up front. And I went into it knowing like it may take, 2 to 5 years to really see the profit come back. That doesn't mean
Mhm.
you're not being successful, but just understanding what things are going to look like financially from maybe worst case scenarios so that if it doesn't end up being that and it ends up being great, then you're pleasantly surprised. But being realistic with yourself of, okay, is this something that I can take on financially to maybe not be, you know, fully in the green for a couple of years, but understanding that it's an investment and it's for your long term. And also just knowing your market and your industry. So, you might think about, okay, is Charlotte or wherever I'm living, does it need this business or is this business going to thrive here? So I think I kind of got lucky in the sense that Charlotte's top 10 for new homes being built. It's net positive people moving here. There's, I think the number is over 160 people move here a day.
Yeah, amazing.
So I got very lucky that I'm in a city where there can be multiple staging businesses and we can all still have business and we
Yeah.
don't have to heavily compete because there's thousands of homes for sale. And even if only 25% of those are empty, then there's enough for us to all go around. So I think that was a big thing that helped for my business of, okay, am I in a place that this business can thrive?
Yeah, tons of potential. You're right. But that thing that you said about just being realistic and taking a long-term view, that's a hard thing to do for a lot of
Mhm.
people. It really is. So, you and your husband did a great job thinking this through. Now, listen, I happen to know, and it's some of the things that you've told me that you are looked upon favorably by your franchisor as someone that's doing everything right. Talk a little bit about that. Like, what are you doing when you went to launch this? Like, what are you doing that's getting you the recognition? You're doing it right. What does that
Yeah.
look like?
I know it's so funny because have had such good success, but it's not necessarily following the model that they had. So now they are rethinking their model because they've done so well. And I think they also need to be realistic of what they expect from people. If someone's just starting out, they might not have those networks and connections built just yet. And so it's really getting out there. And I say everyone you know knows a realtor. So just reaching out to every person you know and asking, hey, do you know a realtor and can you connect me? And so from there, just telling my friends, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. And so I'm just looking to make connections with anyone in the home industry, not even just realtors, but the home industry. And a lot of people just gave me their connections. And so grabbing coffee with them, letting them know, hey, I exist. This is what I do. And it might not be immediate. I mean, there's someone that I got coffee with her, I think back in February,
Hmm.
and now it's May, and I just got a house from her. And that
Yeah,
could
I'd
be a
still
quick
say that's great.
turnaround in
Yeah.
some settings, but that was just, I think that that's a good example of, hey, like you're laying the groundwork and then things will come with time. But pretty much everything I've gotten has been from relationships and meeting with people and getting out into networking groups and connecting with people. I haven't done any brokerage presentations, which I know
Mhm.
is the big push from my home office because you get in front of so many people and it is great.
Yeah.
And I would like to do that eventually if I can get in anywhere, but I've had luck not doing them just yet. So we'll see how long I can go. I'm not against doing them. It's more that I haven't been able to get in.
Yeah.
So
Well, you've been busy and so you're obviously doing something right. And I think what you talked about is a good example of kind of the back and forth between between a franchisor and a franchisee. The Yes, they've got most of it figured out, but there's still always opportunities for improvement. And obviously you guys are bringing a lot to the table. I'm so excited for you and Stephen. Really happy to see everything that's gone on so far. And hey, folks, if you're watching this and you're anywhere in the greater Charlotte, North Carolina area and you know a realtor, make sure they know Set the Stage, Queen City. Colleen, thanks again. Really appreciate you. And I know we'll be talking soon.
thanks, Chip. I appreciate it.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too.